One exhibit with data that you have in the case that I've written on TikTok is really fascinating to me, and it basically breaks down the age structure. And so, not surprisingly, it's mostly young people who are on TikTok. You see how the age is sort of increases over time, so that in the beginning it's all just like incredibly young people, and now it's middle-aged people, and so on and so on. But maybe the most interesting part is that TikTok has this amazing competitive advantage among young women. Young women flock to TikTok in ways that they frankly don't engage these days with Instagram. And so one question is like, what is that? Like, why is it that both, if you look at very young women, but also then women in the early 20s or so, is like TikTok is just completely dominant relative to everyone else. And one interpretation is that what we're seeing is the increasing sort of mental health issues that are associated with the super polished life that is presented on Instagram. On Instagram, everybody looks always perfect. You're going to the most amazing restaurants. Today, you're in Dubai. Tomorrow, you're in South Africa. A week later, you drink champagne in New York. It's really sort of like it's anxiety inducing in ways that I don't think we really understood when social media first came along. And in the meantime, of course, we have like really serious academic evidence also that the mental health issues that are caused by these hyper polished social platforms, these mental health issues are really serious, and it's a really big social problem. TikTok comes along and it has none of that. It's authentic in a way that is really quite spectacular and amazing. I mean, half the people who shoot videos, they look like they rolled out of bed 30 seconds ago. And when you like one of the funny things to compare is like when you see people cook on TikTok, you see all the things that go wrong when you cook. You don't have the right ingredients, and then the thing doesn't boil or doesn't do what like it's a way of sharing what with each other the moments in our lives that is so much more authentic than what we had on Instagram. And I think that's part of the appeal that you then see in the demographic penetration that the platform has relative to everyone else. And I would say many other social media didn't really create a home for young women that felt much more comfortable than what social media had offered so far.
Is it fair to say? I mean, is it fair to say that like a lot of people, at least to themselves, they were getting tired of all the filters and of all the presentation that you had to put up for a single post, and all the minor edits that you had to do to look perfect. And here comes this new thing that you don't really have to care so much. So it's a relief per se. It's a and
Yeah,
also
yeah,
is it
and I don't think it's so much about the tools, right? Because TikTok is pretty good at providing tools, say video editing tools, filters, and so on and so on. So that is maybe not so different. But the filters that people often use on TikTok, they're silly. I mean, they're not. I don't know, if you don't have perfect skin, like the filter is not first and foremost designed to make you look perfect. The filters are often designed to transport humor, to make you look funny, in that sense, I think it's much closer in spirit to Snap, which had a little bit that same irreverence also. There, of course, coupled with the vanishing messages that allowed a form of expression that was felt a little more risky, felt a little more, you could do crazy things that you probably wouldn't do on Instagram, but you could do those on Snap because the message disappeared. But that's actually a very interesting observation to me, at least, that the one social media platform that allowed more authentic expression did it in the context of messages that would disappear, as if there was something wrong with being particularly goofy or particularly funny, or you don't look your best, and so on and so on. So sort of saying, yeah, there is, you can share that with your friends, but you probably don't want a memento of that for the rest of your days. And then TikTok comes along, and it's just very different. Also because you have no control over what you see in the first place, or you have very limited control over what you see in the first place. So if I admire a particular actress or a particular actor, I can of course use the explore page to find content that's related to that actor, but sort of in native mode, if I just fire up the app and I get an endless stream of videos, i don't I don't really control much of that experience.